child, what school to take the child to. It can range from a lot of things, you understand? But like I said earlier, more often than not, the major or the prevalent cause of conflict within a family is after the passage of a parent to the afterlife. So in the absence of a will, forgive me please, even with a will actually, this conflict can still manifest. But it is always advised that you have a will in place to set your instructions as to how your property should be managed after death. So that way, if it's in writing, you know, it contains, I always advise people to do, aside setting up a will, it's always good you establish a private trust company or a family trust company. It doesn't matter what nomenclature you want to use, wherein the objects of that company would be to manage your estate in a specific way. Disbursements are clearly written out as to how the children, and generations after that can inherit these estates.
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
And quite frankly, to be able to avert problems later, apart from the will, I believe that something like communication,
very correct,
would go a long way.
Yes,
because you see, communication or the lack.
You have to have an open mind. Sometimes it is important you set aside your own ego and try to be accommodating. Accommodate your partner, accommodate your children, you understand? As soon as you notice that there's this discord, this misunderstanding, the first thing you should do is to communicate. It is after communication has failed that you can now resort to other external factors like counseling, and you'll be surprised at the success rate of counseling in marital affairs in the country. It works, really.
Right. Okay, so family feud, family discord is not just amongst the offsprings of the family.
Yes.
Because you just talked about marriage, so it's also between the husband and the wife at some point.
Exactly.
You just talked to us about the importance of the will. And I'm thinking, the will needs, it's the people who are enlightened that go about, that know about wills.
Oh. Really?
Pretty much. because not too many people well, the thing about will is not...
this is the 21st century, so I want to believe that
you will be shocked at how many people, the percentage of people who have gone, and done wills for their family. You'll be shocked if you did a research on that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the enlightened people, probably in the towns like Lagos, like wherever, and people who have attained some level of education. But we still find discord and feud amongst families, that are, I don't like to use the word illiterate, really.
Yes.
But our parents, our brothers, our uncles, our aunties in the villages, it is even more heated out there, So what do we do about that sector of people?
Well, the only thing we can do is to enlighten them, you understand? Yes, you are correct that a group of people that do not even like or buy the idea of having a will, with time I've come to realize that there are some people that you would mention the importance of having a will to, and then they will say, no, you want me to die. That's why you're asking me to prepare a will. Well, no, it doesn't have to be because you are going to die. We all are going to die, certainly. But it is important, like I said, to always have your instructions written down as soon as you begin to acquire anything of value. In fact, you'll be surprised, even amongst the literates, there's a prominent legal luminary of blessed memory. I can't, mention names because it's actually sub judice. So you'll be surprised that even amongst the children, you understand, till this very moment, they are still fighting over the estate of their late father in court. It's very unfortunate. In fact, the adjudicators have tried as much as possible to settle this dispute amongst them because of the respect they had for their dad during his lifetime. Or even amongst the literates, we still have people that do not believe in the sanctity of a will, that do not respect the wishes of the deceased while he was alive.
Wow.
Yes, and you know what comes to mind is the power
Yes.
of culture and tradition.
Yes.
You know, now let's put this culture and tradition against this issue of wills.
Yes.
Okay, which will be like personal.
Okay.
All right. There are some cultures that are so strong, some traditions that are so strong
Yeah.
that no matter what will you write,
Yes.
you know, the traditionalists
Yes.
will want to override whatever was written. And then you see, you know, upon the demise of maybe the head of the family or whatever, you know, they now come out and say, hey, no, this is not how we share it. This is the first son or it's the second son by the third woman who gets X, Y, Z.
Yes.
So how do we balance this? The wills will be like,
But yes, that is what the law says.
but the traditionalists,
This way, then it behoves on the beneficiaries of that will to go to court and seek redress.
okay, let me try and throw you under the bus.
Okay.
Can
try.
family feuds
Yes.
be settled out of court?
Of course. Of course. In fact, I always advise that family feud should be settled out of court. Try as much as possible to settle before going to court. It is when settlement has broken down
Failed, yes.
irretrievably, then you have no other option than to seek recourse in court. Yes.
Okay.
All right. You know, I'm a woman,
Yes.
and we're talking about this crisis, you know, raising its ugly head most
Yes.
when the head of the family probably is no more.
Yes.
And the women, a lot of the times, are worse hit.
Yes.
John just talked about the tradition,
Yes.
and you insist that the law
Would
you know,
prevail.
will
Yes.
prevail.
As long as the tradition is not repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience.
Please
the law-
explain that. Come on.
Yes, I
explain
will.
that.
I will. You know, yes, we can't take away the fact that there are some repugnant traditions. In fact, it used to be the position back in the days that a woman could not inherit the estate of her father. That used to be the position. You know, there's the case of Majekudumi.
Majekudumi.
Sorry, I always
Oh.
Majekudumi, exactly, and Majekudumi. There is that case. But then, with time, that position has been challenged in court. And the position of the law now is that even a woman can inherit the estate of her father. So if that tradition is against the spirit of the law would have to prevail, because in that case there's a conflict. And there is no way there will be a conflict between a tradition and the law that the law would not prevail.
Okay.
So that is just the simple fact there is to it.
Now let's put that aside.
Yes.
Let's look at
It's your duty to never to quarrel with your spouse in front of the kids. Treat your spouse with kindness, treat your spouse with respect, and your kids will see that they would want to emulate that kind of behavior. And when they grow, they will pass the same tradition down to their own kids. So it's simple. Once you notice that there is this rivalry brewing up, it's very common amongst teenagers, you know, even toddlers. It is your duty as the head of the family or as the parents, whichever way, to curtail that situation as soon as possible, rather than quarreling. Give them reasons why they should work together.
Yeah.
They have to. They are siblings.
and
Yes.
I'm sure your sister is very lucky.
No.
I mean, with a frame like this.
Thank you.
With a frame like this.
Thank you. To curtail inter-family disputes. Yeah. These instructions, these wishes would be upheld.
Okay.
And,
Yes.
Before you take the next question,
Yes.
because normally we see that it's a man who should get the will ready, and because it's assumed that he's the one who exists first.
Okay.
Do women also, the wives, can they also?
Of course. Like I
And-
said,